We know sports.
Oh, baby, a right hand jam.
97.3 ESPN, WENJ, WENJ HD, Millville, Atlantic City, a Town Square media station. This is Game Night with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN and the free mobile app. Now, live from the Matt Black Kia Studios.
Oh, what a move!
Here's Josh Hennig.
Josh Hennig here on 97.3 ESPN. Well, this is probably the first time I've had to do a show like this since, I'm going to say, early 2020. Because maybe even like the summer of 2020, we had to have these conversations. But this is not your typical Football Friday show. This show is about trying to fill in all the blanks as much as I can. And of course, on top of all the news we had today, for those who don't know, Kyrie Irving apparently is coming back to the Nets. He's going to rejoin the Nets for road games moving forward. So throw that into all the COVID stuff today. So today's show is explaining for all of you guys out there why the Eagles game was moved, why it's not Sunday, why the NFL did what they did. And on top of all of that, thanks to my friends over at the FanDuel Sportsbook inside Bally's Hotel Casino in Atlantic City, we're going to give you football picks this weekend because here's the problem. My bet of the week that was going to be the Saturday game has now been moved to Monday. Now, I will preface this by saying my pick hasn't changed, but the reason why you should pick it has changed. All right, so we got a lot to digest here on Game Night on 97.3 ESPN. All you Eagle fans, all you football fans, anybody out there, whoever you are, text board is open, 609-403-0973. You can DM the show through the 97.3 ESPN mobile app. Thanks to First Bank of Sea City, and we are live on YouTube at 973 ESPN. I want to hear from you guys throughout the show. How do you feel about the Eagles game being moved? How do you feel about everything that's going on? I want to hear from you guys as well. And listen, I understand that a lot of this stuff is a lot to process, and I'm going to try to sift through as much as possible, but we're going to try to have fun with it too. I want to be hyper serious. Look, it's the start of the weekend. Christmas is a week and change away. I want to have a good time with you guys on a Friday. All right. I will not be on tomorrow because the scheduling changes have not just moved the Eagles game, but I no longer have a Saturday show. So I want to have a little fun with you guys today. But we got to start with what happened today. All right. And by the way, in about less than 10 minutes from now, we will hear from Pete Thompson. Pete Thompson is live tonight for another Screwball event over in Williamstown. We will hear from him in just a bit as well here on 97.3 ESPN. All right. So here's the deal. The NFL is the most reactionary league on the planet. You see, each professional sport league of the four, they all have something they're known for, okay? Here's the deal. The NFL is a reactionary league. They don't plan ahead very well. The NBA tries to be very proactive and very progressive, but to a fault at times. Major League Baseball is full of a bunch of idiots who can't get along with each other because the owners and players think they're smarter than each other. And then the NHL is basically full of a bunch of guys who they just want to play hockey, and the owners look at the players with disdain. So that's your setting. All right. Here's why the NFL moved the Eagles game, and why they moved the Raiders game, and why they moved the Seahawks-Rams game. They moved these three games because the NFL received a massive freakout from their players. Oh, you didn't hear about this? Oh, this wasn't part of the story that you guys heard on some other network or some other channel? Here we go. The reason why the league did this was because this week, the NFL Players Association went to the league and said, we got to update these protocols. We have a group of players who all tested positive who are asymptomatic. We have a large percentage of our player population who's vaccinated under the protocols the league set forth. The league made this move because they realized that between the Players Association pressing them on updating these protocols, combined with, let's be realistic, they want to make sure everyone can play. That's why this was moved. You see, one of the things that gets lost in the sauce when it comes to all the players on Twitter, KJ Wright of the Seahawks, Rodney McLeod of the Eagles, Darius Slay of the Eagles, all these players tweeting away. This isn't fair. The NFLPA went to bat for the players because they are making sure the players get paid. Remember, under the protocols that were agreed to back in May, if a game would have been forfeit, you don't get paid. And there is no scenario where these players are going to turn down a paycheck. So you want to know why the Eagles game was moved? You want to know why the Raiders-Browns game is not being played tomorrow? You want to know why that despite the total number of players on these COVID protocols, this ain't about COVID, this ain't about Omicron, this ain't about any of that stuff. This is about people making their dough. And I'm not mad. I'm mad that people are so gullible to believe the tripe and the garbage online. This is about money. It always has been. It always will be. I was pounding a table day after day back in 2020 in April and May. And these Neanderthals and these imbeciles were out there saying, sports are never coming back. We're never getting back to normal. And I said, you are going to have sports because it's a $1 billion business. $1 billion industry. No one is going to turn down money. Not the players, not the owners, not the TV executives, not the sports books. Nobody. Money is the reason why all of this has happened. I don't want to hear anything about vaccines and COVID protocols and testing because we all know two things are true. Number one, the NFL is a reactionary league. They do not have the foresight to think ahead because if they did, they wouldn't have had the protocols so messy to put themselves in this position. Number two, we know from other leagues that none of this stuff is really foolproof. Look at the NHL. They have 3 teams now that are on lockdown. The Florida Panthers, the Colorado, Colorado Rockies, the Colorado Avalanche, and the Calgary Flames. They're all on shutdown. And they're all on shutdown even though they're all vaccinated. They had COVID outbreaks. You know why? Because a lot of this stuff, we don't really know. At the end of the day, the NHL doesn't care that games get postponed. They just want them played. You know why? Money. The players, at the end of the day, don't care. They get postponed. You know why? Money. Guess what? This is the opening weekend of the fantasy football playoffs. You don't think that there's money being wagered right now some of these games have been moved? Of course they are. That's why all this is happening. You guys can chime into the conversation, and we'll dig deeper into the actual games. But I wanted to open the show to give an explanation, because one of the things that Tom Pelissaro put out there was that apparently there's a large group of players who are saying, we're tired of the protocols, get rid of them because they're not working. Now, the NFL will never do that, because that would fly in the face of a lot of their relationships with the corporate world, okay? Because the NFL doesn't have mandates, but they're not going to sit there and tell the players we can't have any protocols. That would be irresponsible on a business level and on a personal level. And Dr. Alan Sills is one of the top medical people in all sports. He's not going to let that happen either. So there's so much going on here, folks, that I just want to cut through the minutia so we can move on. And like Jay says over here on the YouTube channel at 973 ESPN, that's 4 games in like 20 days. That's crazy, Josh. Hey, man, it is crazy. But you know what? The fact that people are mad about this stuff. Like, there are players online right now where people are acting like the Eagles are being punished for another team being irresponsible. Do you think any of these players wanted to test positive? Do you think any of these players were like, hey, man, I don't care about getting COVID. You know, I'm just going to do my thing. And they get tested positive and they're like, oh, man, it doesn't matter. Of course they care. You know why? Because if there's a chance that they don't get paid or they don't make money or they don't have a job long term, they're not sacrificing that. See, it's crazy, Jay. But I am never going to get up here and point the finger at the Washington football team or the Cleveland Browns or the LA Rams or the Calgary Flames or any of these, or the Chicago Bulls in the NBA with all their problems. I'm not going to point to A and be like, these guys are irresponsible. I'm not with them. I don't know what they're doing. There's a lot of people who are following every protocol, every rule, every regulation, every little thing to the T. And guess what? They got a positive COVID test. Now, whether these tests are false positives or real positives or they're asymptomatic or symptomatic, it's a lot of minutia. But I'm just letting you know, at the end of the day, you know what really matters? Jay, you know why there's 4 games, 20 days? Because there's money involved. Right? So, Josh Hennig here on Game Night on 97.3 ESPN. We will be hearing from Pete Thompson soon. Just to pull the curtain back. You know, today's one of those days where you just want people to communicate with you. And then when you try to communicate with people and they don't communicate back, I'll just leave it at that. Joe chimes in over the YouTube channel as well, says, the veterans need the recovery time. Here's the problem, Joe. You just came off a bye week. Like, how much more recovery time do you need? You just had a bye week. Now you got to wait till Tuesday to play. And then from Tuesday to Sunday is the equivalent if you played a Sunday game and then you play again that Tuesday. Sorry, that Thursday. So how much more recovery time do you need if you're the Eagles? How much more recovery time do you need if you're any NFL team? Right? Like, you know, it's one of those deals where with the NFL, you're always going to be a little banged up. No one's ever fully 100% unless it's like week 1, day 1 of camp. Because you get injured in camp, right? You get banged up in camp. Preseason, you get banged up. So NFL week 1, you're not even 100% all the time. So how much more recovery time does a team like the Eagles need, for example? You just had a bye week. You're coming in. You're ready to play Sunday against a banged up, shorthanded Washington team. And as we learned from the 76ers, you can still lose to a shorthanded team if you're not doing your job. You know, the Sixers, they tick me off. All right. The Sixers have lost 3 straight games to teams that were shorthanded because of injuries and COVID protocols. How does that happen? You lost to Kevin Durant and me, basically, last night. You lost to Kyle Lowry, Duncan Robinson, the band of misfit toys on Wednesday. I understand Monday without Embiid and Seth Curry. So it's like, all right, I guess I see. But like the Sixers have to have a serious conversation about do they really want to win basketball games? Are they just tanking this year to prove a point to Ben Simmons? Like, what's really going on here? It's I think the Sixers. I say this not to be belligerent. I say this to be forthright with all of you. I think the Sixers should be embarrassed of themselves. I really do. And if the last 3 games aren't enough to get Daryl Morey to make a move within the next few weeks, whether it involves Ben Simmons or not, I don't know what will get the guy to make a move. So unless the organization just sitting on their hands, I don't get it. And I just feel like a football team like the Eagles, who are in a playoff hunt, who want to win games, their coach wants to win games to prove that he's not going to be a lame duck coach. You have a group of players who are trying to prove their worth in the NFL. I just feel like this is a team in the Eagles that I have more confidence in them to beat Washington and cover the spread, which the last time I saw was 10.5. I have more confidence in them to do that than the Sixers to be a competitive team this year. Yeah, what is the Eagles spread now? All right, the Eagles spread is down to 7.5. So there must have been a lot of people pounding the Eagles side of the money line there because that's a massive switch. You know, when we first heard about Garrett Gilbert being the starting quarterback, he got to 12.5 at one point. Then it went down to 10.5, and now it's down to 7.5. Something to keep an eye on, and we will go over all of those lines with my friends over at FanDuel Sportsbook. Hey, folks, celebrate the 75th anniversary season of basketball with FanDuel Sportsbook. Right now, new customers can place their first bet risk-free. And if you don't win, you get up to $1,000 back. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, now is the perfect time to give it a shot. There's no better place to bet on the NBA than FanDuel. So sign up and see for yourself why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. Just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app today and sign up using my promo code Hennig. You get your first bet risk-free up to $1,000 and make every moment more this NBA season when you sign up with promo code Hennig. If you already have an account with FanDuel Sportsbook, you are getting hooked up with $50 when you refer a friend. Plus, your friend will get $50 too. Just invite them using your exclusive referral link, which can be easily found when you tap the refer icon only on FanDuel Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older to play and present in New Jersey. First online real money wager only. Refund issued non-withdrawable site credit expires in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right. We got to hit the break, and then I will track down Pete Thompson because today has been a wonderful day rife with communication slip-ups. So hopefully we'll hear from Pete Thompson on the other side as he is at his next point in his screwball tour around South Jersey with the 97.3 team. Leanne, Pete Thompson are out and about. It feels like almost every single weekend and multiple days at this point. So, and we will get to you guys all the lines that I am riding with this weekend. Thanks to my friends on FanDuel Sportsbook. We'll do it all right here on 97.3 ESPN FM, the 97.3 ESPN mobile app. We are live on YouTube at 97.3 ESPN. I'm Josh Hennig, and this is Game Night.
We're spreading Christmas cheer this holiday season, one game at a time.
He's in the end zone for a touchdown.
What a save by Carter Hart. And a two-hand stop right down the lane.
Merry Christmas and happy holidays from all of us at 97.3 ESPN.
Why would someone looking for a mortgage at the Jersey Shore take a loan from a company in Detroit or North Carolina or some other far-off place? Online mortgages promise a lot but don't always deliver. First Bank of Sea Isle City knows the Jersey Shore. We are local lenders. We use local appraisers and provide in-house processing. We understand the unique obstacles of financing in Cape May County. Don't take a chance. Local banking is better. Let us guide you. First Bank of Sea Isle City.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
High prices don't get you a great network. A great network gets you a great network. It's why Total Wireless runs on the largest, most dependable network with nationwide 5G. And now our totally unlimited plan is just $50 a month for talk, text, and high-speed data that never run out. Get unlimited laughing, scrolling, unlimited everything. Total Wireless. Do amazing.
to Matt Blatt Kia during the Command the Season sales event and put zero down. Pay zero interest for 60 months or make no payments for 90 days. Stuck in a loan or lease? Matt Blatt Kia can get you released. We want to approve you today. Choose from the largest selection of certified pre-owned Kias at mattblattkia.com. So bring us any trade, no matter the make, no matter the mileage, no matter the condition. So treat yourself this holiday season and drive away in a new Kia with zero down and zero interest for 60 months on every 2022 Kia Stinger, or make no payments until next year during the Command the Season sales event.
It's gotta be a Matt Blatt Kia.
Offers will approve Tier 1 or 2 credit through Kia Motors Finance. Not all will qualify. 0% based on 1667 per 1,000 borrowed. Negative equity financed into new loan. Excludes taxes, title, license. Offers don't combine. Call 877-289-6670 or go to mattblattkianj.com for complete details. Expires 1/3/22.
Matt Blatt Kia, 6211 Black Horse Pike, Egg Harbor Township.
And now on Route 37 in Tom's River.
You're listening to Game Night with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN and the free mobile app.
Of course, Football Fridays here on Game Night, always being brought to you by friends with the FanDuel Sportsbook at Bally's Hotel and Casino in Atlantic City. You can bet all the action this weekend. Tons of college football this weekend. NFL Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. We'll give you all the lines in just a bit here on Game Night on 97.3 ESPN. Of course, you can bet all the action over the FanDuel Sportsbook. Right off the boardwalk inside Bally's Hotel Casino in Atlantic City. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. You know, when you're making those bets, it might not be a bad idea to have a drink, considering everything that's happened today. I think I might need a stiff one. I know a man who could hook me up. It's Pete Thompson. He knows exactly something about a stiff drink because he's hanging out with Screwball Whiskey today and tomorrow. Pete, how's it going?
I'm doing well, Josh. I'm at the Buy Right in Williamstown, and I got to tell you, yes, if everything's been as challenging, if you work for the Eagles, if you work for the Washington football team, if you work for 97.3 ESPN, it doesn't matter who you work for. You should get some Screwball peanut butter whiskey and have a little toot of that tonight. You can have it straight. You can mix it with bananas liqueur. You can mix it with cranberry. You can mix it with chocolate. Goes really well with the Godiva chocolate or like the Kahlua chocolate type liqueur out there. Just get the Screwball component of it. It's on sale right now, Julie, for how much? $24.99, she says. Oh, my God, are you talking to me? The lovely and talented Julie is here from Screwball, plus Frankie and the Screwball team. He even brought in some guys from out of state to help out on this remote. You know, I mean, all the way from deep in the heart of Texas, they came to Jersey just to try this stuff. Our thanks to Val, Jimmy, Tommy, Mikey at the Buy Right, all the folks here. I got to tell you, Josh, we've been in a few establishments promoting Screwball. This is one of, if not the nicest liquor store that I have been in my Screwball tour. I cannot tell a lie. It's really nice out here. So if you're in the sound of my voice, come see us at the Buy Right in Williamstown. Technically, it's 2031 North Black Horse Pike is the address, but Julie's pouring you the free taste of Screwball. Try the taste of Screwball. You'll get a Screwball shirt. Play our reindeer game. Leanne just showed up on my left-hand side. We've got a reindeer ring toss, and we'll explain to you how that works. But you throw the ring toss, and you have a chance to win some Flyers tickets. So please come out and see us. We're having a good time. And, yes, Josh, I will bring you back a little Screwball for you.
All right, Pete, we'll check back with you in about 10 minutes.
Sounds good, bud.
All right, Josh Hennig back here in the Matt Blatt Kia studios here on 97.3 ESPN. All right, so first of all, shout out to Kurt, who is very much involved in the music during the break. For those who don't know, I do play like some cover music during the breaks on the YouTube stream. But Kurt asked, he needs an update on he says, how was the game moved? Okay, so just again, before we get to actually like breaking down games and picking games, I see Tom from Margate's got a comment as well. We'll get to that in just a moment. So here's the deal. How was the game moved? Well, the game was moved because everybody wants to get paid. That's the simplest explanation anybody needs. I said at the beginning of the show, I said this back in April and May of 2020. Everything happens because people want to make money. All right. The players want to get paid. The league execs want to make their money. The advertisers want to get their money and the value for their investment into the league. The networks want to get their money. Everybody's going to get paid because of this. You know, The Eagles Washington game was going to be on Fox on Sunday. Now it's going to be on Fox on a Tuesday night in a non TV time of the year. The week of Christmas, like the most dead television week in the world. And now you have an NFL game in 4 markets. 2 of them, some of the largest markets in the country, Washington, D.C. and Philadelphia. Of course, you also have Seattle and Los Angeles. So you have L.A. and Philadelphia, 2 top 10 markets of terms of viewership and interest in terms of football. Then you have Seattle and you have Washington. So you have all these people who will be watching football on a Tuesday night. And now you're going to have a doubleheader on Monday night. So that's how the game was moved because people want to make their money, Kurt. Appreciate you watching the show here on 97.3 ESPN. Over on the text board at 609-403-0973. Tom in Margate says, Josh, I'm looking forward to 5 days of the NFL in the next 6 days. My Villanova Wildcats are playing Creighton tonight. P.S. Have you tried the Black Velvet yet? Have a great weekend of footballs from Tom in Margate. All right, Tom. First of all, Villanova playing Creighton tonight feels like that's a conversation for Pete Thompson, more so than me because it involves Creighton. I kid. Villanova is a team that's very interesting to watch this year in college basketball. I feel college basketball is getting overshadowed a lot right now because of everything else going on in the world when it comes to the other sports. So I think that when it comes to college basketball, once we get to January and February, it'll have more room to breathe. But with the NFL so much in the next several days, I feel like that's where our emphasis is going to be. And the final point from Tom Margate, no, I have not tried the Black Velvet yet. But I am an individual who does try things. I do like to, dabble in things, say I tried it. Whether I like it or not, I can tell you after I tried it. All right, so a couple things to hit on here. So, first of all, when it comes to the NFL games that have been moved, I'm still riding with the Raiders and the Eagles to cover their spreads. And here's why. I believe in a contact sport like football, motivation and passion is very important. You have 2 teams right now who are not happy that their games have been moved. The Raiders were ready to fly to Cleveland today. They don't have all these COVID problems. Those players are mad. The Eagles literally have 1 guy on their COVID list. Everybody else is like regular injuries. They were ready to play Sunday. Now they got to wait till Tuesday. Motivation is a powerful thing in sports. People who can channel their emotions always have success in sports. And professional athletes are among the best people on planet Earth at channeling anger and passion and aggression and emotion. So I'm not just looking for the Eagles and Raiders to win on their days that have been moved. I am expecting them to win big in their games for 2 reasons. One, not all the players are going to be able to be cleared in time in order for them to be able to play on Monday and Tuesday, respectively. The Browns and Washington, not everyone's in the same boat. So I'm expecting both of those teams to still be shorthanded for their games. The Browns will not be 100%. I guess there's an outside chance that Stefanski will be able to coach on Monday. There's a lot of speculation. I was watching NFL Network this week that they were saying that, if the Browns played on Sunday, that a couple of their players could have come out of protocols. Now the game is on Monday, so maybe there's a possibility to have a few players back. But Washington and Cleveland are still going to be shorthanded either way, because the reason why the COVID issue became an even bigger issue is because both Washington and Cleveland also have injuries on top of the players in the protocol. So, for example, there's a chance that Montez Sweat can return for Tuesday's game. Well, Montez Sweat has missed a ton of time due to injury already. And then he got put on the COVID list. There's a chance he could come back for Tuesday because now he has more time to rest his body and get off the COVID list. So, yes, there's a chance that it's not going to be a massive blowout for the Eagles versus Washington or the Raiders versus the Browns. That's why the line has changed, especially over at FanDuel Sportsbook. But seeing that the Raiders are +1 and seeing the Eagles are -7.5, here's the key to keep in mind. I always tell you guys there's always a hidden meaning on these lines. Look at the price value. -110, both for and against those lines. In other words, for example, the Eagles are a 7.5-point favorite, which makes Washington football team 7.5-point underdog. The value on both of those is -110. So no matter if you bet for or against the Eagles, $10 is going to get you $9 and a walk away with 19. What the book is telling you is that the number, the value is the same either way. That they don't feel like there's a real favorite in these games. So as a result, my gut tells me that you got to ride with the teams that are angry. Anger, passion, aggression, all these things are part of sports. They are what fuels people, what drives people. The greatest athletes in the world are driven. And I can see a very large scenario where a team like the Eagles and the Raiders go into their games and they just look at the other team and just want to say, you know what, man? Bleep you. Just bug off. I can totally see it because I've seen this situation play out before. Anger and aggression are amazing tools if you can channel them. Listen, I see it all the time in MMA. You know, when Khabib Nurmagomedov beat Conor McGregor years ago, every time Khabib punched him, there was bad intentions behind it. It was not a normal fight. That was a guy who said, you insulted my family, you insulted my country, you insulted my religion, you insulted everything about me, so I'm going to come in here, I'm going to hurt you. I've seen plenty of times where rage and aggression are a great fuel. Now, the funny thing is, every time I say aggression, though, all I think of is all of you pro wrestling fans, the early 2000s, when Vince McMahon had the wars between SmackDown and Raw, and he told the SmackDown locker room he wanted ruthless aggression. Well, I'm expecting some ruthless aggression from the Eagles and Raiders in their rescheduled games for sure. Couple comments before we get back to Pete Thompson over there at the Buy Right over in Williamstown with Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. Couple comments coming in. Kurt chimes in again, says, I hope that anger shows up mostly on defense. You could only hope, Kurt. You could only hope that defensive players are going to hit them maybe a little harder, run a little faster. I tend to believe that considering a lot of the tweets out there are from defensive players, most of the tweets I've seen from players who are angry are actually defensive players. Fletcher Cox, Darius Slay, Rodney McLeod. There's a possibility that you're right, that anger may show up on defense. KJ Wright's been very, very vocal on social media about this stuff, and he plays linebacker. You don't think when he sees somebody in the hole or coming over the middle on Tuesday night, he's not going to have a little extra juice behind that hit? I'm just saying. Another comment coming in over here on the YouTube channel says, Eagles have a better chance of playing Hurts because of the extended time. There is a very good possibility. Nick Sirianni said today that Hurts took more reps today than Minshew at practice, but he was questionable. Now, the Eagles don't have to come out with an official injury report now until Sunday. So now they have 3 extra days. 3 extra days to get it all figured out. Of course, you can hear the Eagles game Tuesday night here on 97.3 ESPN. Coverage begins at 6 p.m. Kickoff at 7 p.m. with Mel Reese and Mike Quick on the call. And you're home for here on Eagles football, 97.3 ESPN. Let's head back out to Pete Thompson. He's live over there at the Buy Right in Williamstown with Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. Pete, how you doing over there?
We're doing good out here, and I'll tell you what's so funny is that the ring toss game, the reindeer ring toss, is up and running, and I think the people that are enjoying it the most are Leanne and Julie from Screwball. Like they threw the rings and nailed it right the first try. We've had a couple people come by. It's not just Flyers tickets, by the way. You also can win. We have a whole slew of lottery tickets. We've got New Jersey lottery tickets, Hercules Tire, MAC basketball championship tickets, Wings tickets. And just for trying the Screwball, which the lovely and talented Julie's right inside the door, smiling and waiting for your arrival. Just trying the Screwball gets you the new Screwball t-shirt. They have some really awesome Screwball t-shirts here too. And by the way, the person that lands the most reindeer rings, if you will, the ring toss on top of the reindeer antlers, they get lower levels Flyers tickets. I believe that game is January 18th. But if I could take off my Joe Isuzu hat for a minute and just talk sports for a second, I do have to tell you, Josh, this is unbelievable. They are screwing the Eagles. If you want to talk about screwball, the people that are getting screwed are the Philadelphia Eagles because, like you said, the NFL cares about money. And you know what? This is going to be bigger viewership, 2 Monday Night Football games, 2 Tuesday games. There's no college football really for competition. Just cash it in. I can't believe it.
But hey, you just said it, Pete, though. Like I said earlier, it's about the money. And anybody who's unhappy about it, listen, it's $1 billion business.
Can you imagine if you're John Elway? John Elway begged Roger Goodell to postpone that game, right? And didn't they have to start a wide receiver at quarterback? You remember that?
They did.
So where's the double standard there?
Well, there's always double standard because the NFL is a reactionary league, Pete. They don't think ahead. They don't plan ahead. Goodell literally in his statement said, we always knew this was going to be a fluid situation. Basically, interpretation, we're flying by the seat of our pants. Have fun, boys and girls.
I mean, the whole theory, too, that it's happening away from team facilities. I mean, come on now. If they believe that that's what it is, that players are being cavalier, well, then it should be, the penalty should be double. Look, it doesn't matter where they get it. It matters that they got it and that they weren't being diligent in their protocols.
I mean, yes and no. I have trouble accepting, Pete, and you can tell me if I'm right or wrong on this. I just feel like no one's going out there saying, I don't care about COVID. I'm going to do whatever I want. And they test positive for COVID. And they'll be like, oh, well, like, I just don't see these players, willing to sacrifice playing and being out there and doing what they do best just to be cavalier, just because I feel like, I can't be mad at somebody for getting something if they do everything right, let's say.
I would agree with that. I think at the end of the day, though, the NFL looks ridiculous for this. You know what I mean? Like, to me, the Washington football team made the bed. They should have to lie in it. And call it irresponsible, call it bad luck, whatever you want to call it. But I just don't think they should be changing the rules for one team or two teams or even three. You can't come out ahead of time and say, if you have it, that's it, you're going to forfeit. And then all of a sudden, because the thing, and as you pointed out accurately, so the Eagles get hosed, and the Giants, meanwhile, they're going to play their game one time, we think, right? So then you got to play another crucial division game on a short week.
Well, the whole schedule is division games the rest of the way for the Eagles. So, I mean, either way, it was going to be a tough sled. But this makes it more complicated, shall we say, right?
The only thing that's taking the ease off my anger is the delicious Screwball peanut butter whiskey. I'm telling you, I've had one little taste so far. I might have another taste. Leanne's doing the driving, so a couple of tastes that won't. But Josh, this is 35% alcohol by volume. I mean, if you spend a night or afternoon with Screwball, you'll definitely get nutty.
Pete Thompson live over at the Buy Right over in Williamstown. Pete, we will hear from you one more time before I get out of here tonight. Okay?
Sounds good, buddy.
I'll give you my full slate of picks on the other side. Thanks to FanDuel Sportsbook over at Bally's Hotel Casino in Atlantic City, right here on 97.3 ESPN FM, the 97.3 ESPN mobile app. We are live on YouTube at 973 ESPN. I'm Josh Hennig, and this is Game Night.
Saturday morning in the locker room with Billy Schwein. Former Eagles linebacker Brad Quast joins me in the studio. Brad and I will take your phone calls as we write our wish list for Santa. What do our Philly sports teams really need to win a championship? The sportsbook consigliere Dave Sharapan checks in from Las Vegas with his six-pack of picks for this weekend's big games. All that and more. It's the locker room with Billy Schwein, Saturday morning from 10 a.m. to noon on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app.
With GMF approval, excludes Corvette.
$10,000 minimum for your trade towards any pre-owned in stock. Bennett Chevy will pay you $10,000 for your vehicle, no matter its condition or miles. This is our very best offer of the year. No games, no gimmicks, just $10,000 minimum for your trade this month. Plus, Bennett selling new vehicles at MSRP, not 1 penny more. Stuck in a lease? We can get you out early. Every make, every model. There's absolutely no obligation and no pressure. Because our non-commissioned sales staff is paid on your satisfaction, not how much you spend. Let's recap. Bennett selling new vehicles at MSRP, not 1 cent over. Looking for pre-owned? Bennett's giving you a minimum $10,000 for yours. That's a minimum $10,000 for junk. You can only imagine how much more we'll pay for a good quality trade. And there's absolutely no obligation and no sales pressure. With our non-commissioned sales staff paid on your satisfaction, not how much you spend. Find new roads at Bennett Chevy, Egg Harbor Township, and BennettChevy.com.
Now, more Game Night with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN and the free mobile app.
Football Fridays here on Game Night on 97.3 ESPN, being brought to you by my friends over the FanDuel Sportsbook inside Bally's Hotel and Casino in Atlantic City. With the holiday season in full swing with football and basketball action, you can catch all the action at the FanDuel Sportsbook right off the Atlantic City Boardwalk inside Bally's Hotel and Casino. The retail sportsbook features 5 betting windows, a large video wall, a sports sticker, 20 self-service betting kiosks, and various lounge seats only. Inside Bally's Hotel and Casino in Atlantic City. Get in on all the action at the FanDuel Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. A couple things before we get back to Pete Thompson one more time before we get out of here. I want to address one comment over that's been brought in. And there's a lot of comments over here on the stream about this. Again, I want to clarify this. The majority of players in the NFL, the NBA, and the NHL are vaccinated. What the players are fighting for is, why are we being treated the same as the unvaccinated players if the protocols were made to incentivize us to get vaccinated? There's only one player in the entire NHL who is unvaccinated. But yet, a team like the Calgary Flames, where the entire team and the entire organization is vaccinated and up to date according to NHL standards, their team got shut down. One of the things the players in the NFL are fighting for is they want to stop being double standards. They want to be either tested every day, or they want the vaccinated players to only be tested when they have symptoms. They want it to be one or the other. They don't like the middle ground they're in. That's why we're in the situation we're in. All right? Now, real quick rundown before we get to Pete Thompson over there at the Buy Right over there in Williamstown with Screwball Whiskey. Here's what I like this weekend. Number one, I love the Patriots at the Colts tomorrow. The fact that the Colts are a 2.5-point favorite, I think, is a sign of disrespect. I think Belichick is on a mission right now to prove to the entire league that I'm Bill Belichick and you all are not me. So this 2.5 screams run with the Patriots. Okay? The other games I like this weekend, one of them is on 97.3 ESPN on Sunday. No Eagles game. We got the Titans and the Steelers. Coverage begins at 12 o'clock right after the locker room with Billy Schwein. And that 43 screams take the under. You have two teams that struggle scoring consistently. Titans even more so than Steelers. And you think that's going to be a high-scoring game? That's a good joke. You got jokes if you think that. You're funny. You're a funny guy. One other thing I like about this weekend, Tampa Bay is playing the Saints on Sunday Night Football. If you don't think Brady and the Bucks want to punish them for the Saints beating them earlier this year, they're going to punish them. 11.5. I think Tampa Bay wins by 14. All right. One more time over to Pete Thompson over at the Buy Right over in Williamstown with Screwball Whiskey. Pete.
Josh, it's Screwball peanut butter whiskey. You can't just call it whiskey, because I got to tell you, it goes down smooth. It's got that sweet and savory flavor, and I've been enjoying the company of Stephanie from Williamstown and Sherry from Franklinville. They're both from right here in the area. Stopped by. They played the game. They threw the ring toss at the reindeer antlers. They both picked up the bottle of Screwball whiskey, which is on sale. Screwball peanut butter whiskey. Sorry, Josh. I just chastised you for that, and I almost forgot the word peanut butter in there.
Come on, Pete.
And they're having a great time because there's a chance to win New Jersey lottery tickets and Flyers tickets with our ring toss game, plus the Screwball peanut butter whiskey being on sale. You got to come out. We're here till 7:30. I know your show is wrapping up, but we are on the Black Horse Pike in Williamstown at the Buy Right Liquors. Come out and see us. See Julie. She'll pour you some Screwball for free. You'll get a T-shirt for free. Plus, Leanne will give you some great prizes, just like Stephanie and Sherry. Stephanie from Williamstown and Sherry from Franklinville. Yeah, you can hear her in the background. She says, "Thank you so much." Yeah, she's leaving a loop. All right, Josh, we'll talk to you again, buddy. Take care.
All right, Pete will be back on checking in tomorrow from Screwball Whiskey. I'm Josh Hennig. I'm pretty much done. I don't even have a show tomorrow because the NFL has ruined my weekend. They have changed our entire programming schedule for tomorrow. After Billy Schwein in the locker room, you have the Boca Raton Bowl. And then on Sunday, instead of Eagles, you have Titans and Steelers here on 97.3 ESPN FM. I'm Josh Hennig. Have a great weekend.